When it comes to narcissists, guys, your silence will always be golden. And by this, I mean your inaction or your lack of action will always be construed as acceptance, will always be construed as approval of their behavior. Narcissists knows no bounds, and they will offend you repeatedly until you stop them. If you don't stop them, they will continue to offend you and continue to offend you and even increase the level of offense that they commit against you until you do something about it. In this video, we are discussing the mindset of a narcissist. But before we get into it, let me take a moment to say hello and welcome to everyone. If you're new here, I go by the name Inspired Seeker, and on this channel we discuss spirituality, we discuss personal development, and we discuss narcissism. So if any of that appeals to you, or if you feel called to, then by all means join us, and I promise you will not regret that decision. So now that we got that out of the way, guys, let's dive into the mindset of a narcissist. And I want to start by saying that if you have experienced any form of narcissism on any level, then you know that narcissists are what I call repeat offenders. Okay, and the way they offend their victims, they do it incrementally. Okay, they will offend you today, and you may simply bring it to their attention. They'll tell you they won't do it again. Tomorrow they'll offend you again, possibly in the same way. And so they tend to be repeat offenders. And not just that, they do it in increments. Okay, they will increase the level of offense that they commit against you, and that is up until you stop them. Okay, they know no bounds, guys. And as we learned previously, narcissists lack empathy, but not just that, they lack the ability to empathize. And we know what empathy means is the ability to put yourself in another person's shoes and feel how they feel. Okay, and so they lack the ability to do that. So it almost feels as if they cannot understand or comprehend the fact that they are hurting you, or the fact that they are offending you. Okay, and many of us have fallen victim to narcissists and narcissistic abuse. Many of us have allowed our big hearts, our empathic hearts, to lead us too far into narcissistic relationships that we have ended up as victims. Okay, and this is sometimes due to lack of awareness. Okay, but there are still plenty of individuals who are currently undergoing narcissistic abuse, and that's why I create videos like this, to educate and raise awareness and let these individuals know that they're not alone and that there's a way out. Okay, they just have to educate themselves enough and gather the confidence to remove themselves away from the narcissist or toxic individual they may be involved with. Okay, so as I said, guys, a narcissist will offend you repeatedly, and they will increase the level of offense as if they don't comprehend the fact that they are offending you. As if they do it as if it's their right to offend you. Okay, but the moment you decide to offend them back, which is seldomly the case, because as empaths we normally forgive, so we don't attempt to retaliate. But if you were to offend them back the same way that they offended you, they will label you as the worst person on this planet. Okay, as soon as you give them a taste of their own medicine, guys, you become the bad guy. They will smear your name, they will throw you to the wolves, they will paint you as the worst person that ever exists under the sun. Okay, so let's go a bit further into this. As we know, guys, narcissists and their behaviors, guys, are influenced by negative forces. Okay, demonic forces, if you will. And this is often sometimes what drives them to commit some of these acts that they commit against their victims. And sometimes they're not even aware of what they're doing to you, but once they have opened up themselves for these negative forces, for these demonic forces to use them as vessels, once they have allowed themselves to be used that way, it kind of becomes automatic, because every time that demon or that negative force is attempting to feed, they will influence the narcissist to commit a particular act that will offend you. That way they'll be able to feed off your energy. Okay, now when I talk about feeding off your energy, I'm talking about the negative energy that you emit. Okay, we call this negative energy loosh. Okay, loosh. And what happens is, when you are undergoing fear, when you are undergoing shame, when you are undergoing guilt, when you are undergoing stress, when you are undergoing all of those negative, low vibratory emotions, when you are at those low vibratory states, that's where you emit. Okay, you emit this without being aware of it. Okay, the more you stressed out, the more you feel guilty, the more you feel shame, the more you feel angry. All of those negative emotions and negative experiences that you go through, the more loosh you emit. Okay, now these demonic forces, these negative forces and entities, they feed off this loosh. Okay, and so every time it's time for them to feed, they will drive the narcissist to commit a particular act against you that will push you into one of those low vibratory states. That way you can emit loosh. Okay, they can lower your vibration and you can emit loosh and give them something to feed on. Okay, so if you can remember, if you have undergone narcissistic abuse on any form, you could see that every time you get into something with the narcissist, you feel either you feel angry, you feel negative emotions. Okay, and that's the idea. All right, they are purposely driving you into that state. They are purposely driving you into that low vibratory state so you could release some loosh, you could emit some loosh for their demons to feed on. Okay, so they know no bounds as to how far they would go. They know no bounds as to how many times they will do it. Okay, and as I mentioned earlier, your inaction or your lack of action will always be construed as approval, will always be construed as acceptance of their behavior. All right, and this will continue until you take action. All right. As I mentioned, guys, a narcissist does not only lack empathy, but they lack the ability to empathize. So if you are expecting the narcissist to change their ways, huh? They say you cannot get blood from a piece of rock. Okay, so if you are expecting the narcissist to change their ways, or you simply just talk to them and show them where they went wrong or what they did to you that was offensive, and expect them to change their behavior, guys, you are essentially wasting your time. Okay, there's nothing that's gonna make them change. Okay, because once they reach a certain level and they get these demonic influences, guys, they're gone. Okay, they're totally gone, and there's nothing that you're gonna do that's gonna cause them to change their behavior, because every time that entity needs to feed, they're gonna drive them to commit such an act, whether against you or against someone else. Okay, they're gonna drive their actions, they're gonna drive their behavior. Okay, because they need to feed, they need someone to emit loose so they can feed on them. Okay, so do understand, guys, you have to take action if you are involved with a narcissist. If you are involved with a narcissist, know that there's really no good outcome from that situation. And you're gonna have to find a way to remove yourself from that situation, whether it's your romantic partner, or it's your landlord, or it's your narcissistic boss, or it's your narcissistic friend, whatever. Even in your families, narcissistic parents, toxic family dynamics, and all of those, guys, no matter what it is, you're gonna have to find a way to remove yourself from these individuals. Okay, because until you act, you must act, because until you get serious and show the narcissist that their behavior is unacceptable, they will continue to provoke you, they will continue to offend you, they will continue to drive you into those lower states, lower vibratory states, so you could emit this lose for them to feed on. You could emit this negative energy for them to feed on. Okay, so if you just think you could just talk the narcissist into changing their mind or changing their behavior, guys, you are fighting a losing battle right away. Okay, you have to take action, and by this I mean you have to take steps to remove yourself from the narcissist. Okay, you have to take steps to remove yourself from that relationship, from that environment, from that place, from whatever this situation may be. You have to take steps to remove yourself, and it's only then that the narcissist will realize that you are not accepting of their behavior, you are not accepting of the way they're treating you. Okay, so this is essentially what I mean, guys. There's no limit to how far they would go, and there's no limit to the level of offense they will commit. All right, because most of the time, guys, their actions are influenced by entities. Most of the time, their behaviors are influenced by entities. And not just that, they don't really have control of themselves, and they don't have any level of empathy to realize that they are offending you and that it's not right what they're doing. So they will continue on and on and on and on and on, and they will do it bigger. They will increase it. Okay, if today they argued with you and cursed at you, tomorrow they might get physical with you. Okay, this is essentially how the narcissist mind works. Okay, because you are essentially accepting of that behavior they think. Okay, you are essentially approving of that behavior. Okay, so until you act, and this is why I said that your lack of action or your inaction will always be construed as approval, will always be construed as acceptance. Okay, so if you find yourself in any form of narcissistic relationship or situation, guys, then please and please and please uh, become aware, educate yourself, and begin taking steps to remove yourself from that situation. Because for the life of me, guys, I can't stress it enough. Nothing good will ever come out of that. All right. So I hope I made it clear enough, guys. Share your thoughts and experiences in the comment section. And if you find value in this message, then I ask that you like the video and share it. And also stick around, because there should be another video or playlist popping up somewhere here. Stick around and get more information on narcissism. Other than that, I'll leave this here, guys. Until next time, peace, love, and more life.